everyone, welcome to my channel. So I just wanted to say that if you don't sacrifice what you want, then what you want will become the sacrifice one day. So with this statement we are going to start further the second chapter, that is biological classification, and from this chapter the probability of the question are 5 to 6 MCQs. So now let's start. So there are two scientists named in the NCERT book, and they are Aristotle and Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, so Aristotle was the father of biology and zoology. Aristotle was the father of biology and zoology. You have to remember, and he was the first. He was the first to attempt the scientific basis of the classification. He was the first and earliest to attempt the scientific basis of the classification. Okay, they are used two morphological characters. Okay, two morphological characters which he used are plants and animals. How many morphological characters he used? He used two morphological characters, that is plants and animals. The second scientist is Carolus Linnaeus. The real name of the Carolus Linnaeus is Carl von Neil. The real name of Carolus Linnaeus is Carl von Neil. Okay, he was the father of taxonomy. Carolus Linnaeus was the father of taxonomy, and he described of both plant and animal. And his taxonomy, both taxons, that is plant and animal, both were placed. Okay, he had also given the two kingdom system of classification. The two kingdom system of classification are Plantae and Animalia. They are Plantae and Animalia. But there are some reasons that this system of classification has been failed. There are three reasons of failure. That first is he did not distinguish between the eukaryotes and prokaryotes. He was unable to distinguish between the eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Second, unicellular and multicellular organism. Okay, he did not distinguish between the unicellular and multicellular organisms. Third, he was unable to distinguish between photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic organisms also. Okay, the other scientist is that is R.H. Whitaker. R.H. Whitaker, very important. R.H. Whitaker has given the five kingdom system of classification. He has given the five kingdom system of classification. This is five kingdom system of classification. The main criteria for the classification of the five kingdoms were cell structure, thallus organization, mode of nutrition, and phylogenetic relationships. There are four main criteria. What are they? The four main criteria are cell structure, thallus organization, mode of nutrition, and phylogenetic relationships. These are the main criteria. These are the four main criteria on the basis of which R.H. Whitaker has given the five kingdom system of classification. These are very important. Now, the characteristics of these five kingdom are, what are the five kingdom? First of all, they were Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Okay. So now we are going to analyze the characteristic of these five kingdoms. So firstly, in Monera, the cell type of Monera is prokaryotic. In Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia, all these are eukaryotic cell types. These all have which kind of cell types? These have eukaryotic. Which one? From Protista to Animalia. Only Monera has the cell type that is prokaryotic in nature. Now, coming to second characteristic, that is cell wall. The cell wall of Monera is non-cellulosic. Non-cellulosic means it is made up of polysaccharide plus amino acids. Non-cellulosic means it is made up of polysaccharide plus amino acids. In Protista, in some protist only some cell wall present in some. It means in some of the Protista cell wall is present and in some not present. Okay, coming to the fungi, cell wall is present. In the fungi, cell wall is present, but it is without cellulose. In Plantae, the cell wall is present and it is made up of cellulose. But in Animalia, the cell wall is absent. In Animalia, the cell wall is absent. Now, coming to the nuclear membrane, in Monera, nuclear membrane is absent, but in Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia, nuclear membrane is present. Now coming to the fourth characteristic, that is body organization. In Monera, the body organization is cellular. In Protista, the body organization is cellular. But in fungi, that is multicellular. The body organization of the fungi is multicellular and it contains of the loose tissues. Okay. Now coming to the Plantae, its body organization is made up of from the tissues and organs. And as you all know, in Animalia, it is made up of tissue, organs and of organ system. Now coming to the fifth characteristic, that is mode of nutrition. So Monera is autotrophic. These cells made their own food. The Monera can be chemosynthetic and photosynthetic also, and they are heterotrophic also. Along with autotrophic, they are heterotrophic also. Heterotrophic means they used to act as saprophytic and parasitic also. Now in Monera, the mode of nutrition is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Auto means chemosynthetic plus photosynthetic and hetero means depends on other, that means saprophytic and parasitic. Now in Protista, the mode of nutrition is autotrophic, and along with autotrophic they are photosynthetic, and along with autotrophic they are heterotrophic also. Along with autotrophic mode of nutrition they are heterotrophic also, but in Protista they are photosynthetic autotrophic. And heterotrophic means depends on other, it means saprophytic and parasitic. Now coming to the fungi, so fungi is heterotrophic. Heterotrophic means depends on dead and decaying matter, that is saprophytic and parasitic. Coming to the Plantae, Plantae is autotrophic. It used to make its own food by their own. That means it is photosynthetically autotrophic. Coming to the Animalia, Animalia depends on other. It is heterotrophic, but it is holozoic in nature and saprophytic. Coming again to the mode of nutrition, very important. Monera are autotrophic and heterotrophic. Protista are also autotrophic and heterotrophic, but fungi is heterotrophic. Animalia is also heterotrophic, but fungi is saprophytic and parasitically heterotrophic, but Animalia are holozoic and saprophytic heterotrophic. But Plantae is autotrophic, photosynthetically autotrophic. Now we are going to come across the kingdom Monera. The first we are going to learn about the kingdom Monera. Example, bacteria. Bacteria in kingdom Monera are the sole members of all kingdom. You have to remember, example, bacteria are the sole members. They live in extreme habitats such as hot springs, deserts and etc. These bacteria are the sole members and also live in the extreme habitats such as hot spring, thermal springs, deserts and etc. There are 4 categories of the bacteria. First is spherical coccus, second is rod-shaped bacillus, third is comma-shaped vibrio, fourth is spiral spirillum. The cell type of kingdom Monera, as we learned, it is prokaryotic. Cell wall we also learned, that is non-cellulosic, polysaccharide plus amino acids. Okay, nuclear membrane is absent. This also we have seen from the previous table. The fourth characteristic, that is body organization, is cellular. Okay, remember. Mode of nutrition also we had seen that it is autotrophic as well the heterotrophic. In autotrophic it is chemosynthetically autotrophic and photosynthetically autotrophic. Chemosynthetic with the help of chemicals, photosynthetic with the help of sunlight. Okay, it is also heterotrophic. It means saprophyte, it is saprophytic and parasitic. Saprophytic means depends on dead organism, example fungi. Parasitic means depends on living organism, example lice. Okay, remember the difference between these two. Saprophytic dead organism and parasitic depends on the living organism. Now, bacteria as a group show most extensive metabolic diversity. This statement you have to remember. Okay, bacteria is a group show most extensive metabolic diversities. Okay, bacteria used to show a group of most extensive metabolic diversities. Synthesize their own food from inorganic substances. They also synthesize their own food. Bacteria used to synthesize their own food from the inorganic substances. They are metabolically active, they show metabolic diversity, and also they synthesize their own food from the inorganic substances. Monera contains two types of bacteria, that is Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Okay, Archaebacteria are the special type of special bacteria, that is halophile bacteria. Archaebacteria is a special type of bacteria, that is halophile bacteria. Archaebacteria used to live in most harsh habitats. These harsh habitats include salty areas, hot springs, marshy areas. The bacteria which lives in salty areas are the halophiles. The bacteria which used to live in the hot springs are thermoacidophiles. The bacteria which used to live in marshy areas are the methanogens. Methanogens used to produce a gas, a biogas, that is known as methane. Methanogen used to produce and do the production of the biogas. Methanogens are also present on the several ruminants, several guts of the ruminants. Okay, they are present on the several animals' gut. Okay, and they used to produce what? Methane. The production of biogas. Which bacteria? Methanogens lives in marshy areas. Thermoacidophile bacteria lives in hot springs. Halophiles used to live in salty areas. Okay, they have different cell structure. They also have different cell structure. This you have to remember. These bacteria also possessed different kind of cell structures. Now, coming to the Eubacteria. Eubacteria, by the presence of rigid cell wall. Eubacteria contains the presence of rigid cell wall. Okay, if this flagellum is present, they are motile. If the flagellum is present, they are motile. Okay. Cyanobacteria is also known as blue-green algae, as we know. Cyanobacteria is also known as blue-green algae. They have the presence of rigid cell wall, and this cell wall, if contains flagellum, then they are motile. Because they can move. Obviously, they can move, so they are motile with the help of flagellum. Okay. These blue-green algae can be photosynthetically autotroph and also contains the chlorophyll A here. Also contains chlorophyll A and they are photosynthetically autotrophs. Characteristics of cyanobacteria. Now coming to the characteristic of cyanobacteria. So they are unicellular. Blue-green algae is unicellular, colonial, filamentous, and also live in freshwater, marine or terrestrial algae. It also has colonies. These colonies are surrounded by gelatinous sheath These colonies are surrounded by a gelatinous sheath and also known as mucilaginous sheath, a covering of mucus. A covering of what? A covering of mucus, that is mucilaginous sheath. They often forms blooms in polluted water bodies. What they used to form? They form blooms in the polluted water bodies. Now another characteristic, that is nitrogen. Nitrogen in specialized cells. Nitrogen is also present in blue-green algae, but in a specialized cell, in a different kind of cell, that is specialized, special kind of cell, that is heterocyst. Remember this word, heterocyst. In these heterocysts, which is also known as specialized cells, nitrogen is fixed. Nitrogen fixation occurs here in the particular cell known as heterocyst. Example, nostoc and anabenum. Example, nostoc and anabenum. Very important example is nostoc and anabenum. This we have to remember. Now, coming to the heterotrophic bacteria. Coming here to the heterotrophic bacteria. Heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant in nature. They are the most abundant in nature. Okay, they are also decomposers. These are also decomposers. Okay, they are helpful in making curd from milk. We can make curd from the milk. They used to produce antibiotics. Production of antibiotics also occur. They fix nitrogen in legume roots. Okay, they used to produce nitrogen in legume roots of the several plants. Okay, they reproduce mainly by fission. Heterotrophic bacteria reproduce mainly by fission. Remember this thing. They reproduce by what? By the fission. Under unfavorable condition, they produce spores. When this certain unfavorable condition, they form spores. Also by sexual reproduction, by adopting primitive type of DNA. Okay, they used to occur. Sexual type of reproduction also used to occur, but how? By adopting a primitive type of DNA. They used to adopt a kind of DNA. Okay, these DNA transfer from one bacterium to another. Okay, these DNA transfer from one bacterium to another bacterium. Okay, so they reproduce mainly by fission, but during unfavorable condition, they produce several kind of spores. But if we are talking about a sexual reproduction, so they used to adopt a different kind of DNA, a primitive kind of DNA, and they used to transfer from one bacterium to another. Now coming to the chemosynthetic autotrophs bacteria. Okay, they oxidize various inorganic substances. They used to oxidize various inorganic substances such as nitrates, nitrites and ammonia. Okay, chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria used to oxidize various inorganic substances. We had also seen in the previous one that bacteria used to synthesize their own food from inorganic substances. So here they oxidize various inorganic substances. These inorganic substances are what? These are nitrates, these are nitrites and ammonia. Nitrates, nitrites and ammonia. These inorganic substances used to release the energy, and these energy are used for the production of ATP. For the production of ATP. Okay. They also plays a great role in recycling nutrients. They used to recycle these all nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and sulfur. They used to recycle which nutrients? They used to recycle nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and sulfur. These four nutrients are being recycled: nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and sulfur. Now coming to the next page, heterotrophic bacteria. Now we are in the heterotrophic bacteria itself. There is a term that is known as mycoplasma. These mycoplasma, the characteristic of mycoplasma we are going to study here. These are, they completely lack cell wall. These mycoplasma completely lacks a cell wall. There is no cell wall. There is absence of cell wall. They are smallest living cells known. Very important. They are the smallest living cell known. It is smallest living cell. Mycoplasma. They can survive without oxygen. Very important again. They can survive without oxygen also. Okay, many mycoplasma, okay, not a particular, but many mycoplasma are there which are pathogenic in animals and plants, which are pathogenic in animals as well as in plants. So what are four characteristic? Mycoplasma possess in the heterotrophic bacteria. They completely lack a cell wall. They are the smallest living cells known. Okay, they can survive without oxygen also, and many are pathogenic. Sorry, many are pathogenic in animals and plants. So here we had completed the kingdom Monera, and in the next lecture we are going to cover the kingdom Protista and its their short notes and explanation. So thank you.